Good evening, and welcome to Behind Enemy Lines. I'm sitting in tonight for Terry, or I don't know, maybe Mickey's sitting in for Terry, I guess. But
We could
we've
both
got
sit
a
in for Terry.
yeah, we've got a great show you lined up for you guys tonight with an even better guest. Dr. Jerome Corsi is back with us, and with everything that's going on with Obama finally getting charged for some of his misdeeds in and out of the White House, there's nobody that knows more. We could not possibly have a better guest for tonight. Dr. Corsi, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. It's great to be back with you guys. And
Well,
we've been in Washington D.C. I've created a group called Veterans First, and we just got back from an all-day meeting. So we're going to say hello to Joshua here. Joshua is the CEO.
hey,
Hey
Josh.
guys,
I'm the
How you
chairman.
doing?
Kimberly here. Kimberly, say hello.
Hi, everyone.
Kimberly's
Hey,
going to
Kimberly.
hit food for us, and Patrick's over here. Patrick.
hey guys.
So we're just having a little cheese and wine, so you won't mind that if we do that.
No. Wish I'd brought my own.
Yeah, been a long day. We've been in Washington D.C. at a meeting all day, and so I'll do a little bit of talking. Then I'll pass the mic around. You can ask Josh and Kim some questions.
That's great.
Perfect. Well, I guess to start things off, so what are your thoughts with this referral to the DOJ for Obama's involvement in the coup against President Trump? And the big question everybody kind of has is, do we think we'll actually see charges and a prosecution?
I think there's no doubt we'll see prosecution and charges. The Department of Justice, when it gets to this point and makes it this public, and Donald Trump has been saying that 2020 election was stolen, and he believes that the entire 2020 was a coup d'état. So
Yes.
he's not going to relent on this, and there's going to be prosecutions, and the Department of Justice is going to this is going to be massive. I think it's going to be the most important criminal case, political scandal in American history, and it's just getting going. And Obama has reason to be frightened, as does Brennan and Clapper and the whole bunch of them, because they were treasonous. It was a traitorous conspiracy. As you know, they tried to put me in prison the rest of my life, but I
Yeah.
refused. I refused to take their plea deal.
Right.
I was not going to lie that I had a tie to Julian Assange that I didn't have just to stay out of jail. And so therefore I refused their plea deal, and I ended the investigation because they thought I had the tie to Julian Assange to prove their Russian collusion case, and I didn't have it. I never talked to Julian Assange or anybody involved with Julian Assange.
Real quick, that's amazing. They tried to get you to corroborate something that they already knew was fake. That they knew you'd be lying if you were to corroborate what they said. That's amazing.
Well, they were not interested in the truth. They were interested in getting Donald Trump. And
Yeah.
this was an investigation in search of a crime, and they were happy to fabricate a crime, to make it up from whole cloth. I mean, I told them that the Russians did not steal the Democratic National Convention, the National Committee's emails. It was Seth Rich that stole them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we knew that, and you could prove it from all of the work that had been done technically in terms of the time that the hack was conducted. It had to have been with a thumb drive and download of emails.
It's an internal hack.
Yeah, as Josh has
Yes.
internal. And so therefore, the idea that Russia stole the emails was a lie from the beginning. And that was the predicate of the case. And
Didn't prove it.
and by the way, Josh here, Josh, say a couple of words, because Josh was involved. He has created the Veterans for Trump, and now he is
Okay.
he's the ex
Hey, how are you?
he's the CEO of Veterans First. I'm the chairman, and Josh. Yeah, there we go. We got 47 here. We got a signature hat.
Yep.
And look, Josh got involved in the J6ers, and the whole thing was this has been a coup d'etat from the beginning, and they deserve to serve justice. Josh?
Initially we thought that it was going corporate espionage back in 2016. When I went to General Flynn and I shared with him that we had a whistleblower and that was saying that we were being spied on, I thought that it was just, DNC pulling some shenanigans, right?
Yeah.
Oppo Research, or they hired some security group that was coming in and trying to shake it up. Not uncommon. Okay,
Yeah.
I've dealt with cybersecurity, dealt with this type of stuff in counterterrorism, counter narco terrorism when I was in the Navy. All right, so I was like, oh, it's just maybe that's what's going on. But then we find out it's ODNI paid, $1.2 million
Yeah.
for this to be spied upon for the campaign. We have we have FBI, Peter Strzok,
Yeah.
all the stuff that's going on during this time.
Well, and the honeypot operation that we didn't find out about till years later.
Exactly. Look, they put my name on a list of 300 and said divide and conquer. This happened during 2016 at Hillary Clinton's birthday party. All right, this has been known news. This is not new information, but they just subverted it and played it off. And here, the Podesta brothers, CNN, all of these guys colluded together. They collaborated in order to suppress our voice and ensure that they could do everything to make President Trump a lame duck president, and also disclose everything that we were doing. And then they used the office and the desk of the Scranton FBI, which Hillary Clinton's got a desk there. What? Osama bin Biden himself as well also has a desk. Like what? And then they used that desk in the FBI to then spy on all of us, to look into everything we were doing. They came to shut down the Veterans for Trump coalition that President Trump initiated with me as chairman, because they did not want to see unity within the veteran community, and they came after all of us that were next to President Trump, every one of us. And they tried to throw me in jail for life at 26 years because of November 5th in the 2020 election and all things associated with January 6th. And we said no. Thanks to the example of Dr. Corsi as well, none of us took a knee. And we would not lie and to save our own skin. Mom didn't raise a rat. Okay, that's not going to happen. All right, we fight swamp creatures. Okay, we take them to heal. We aren't one of them. So we believe in Jesus Christ as the Lord and Savior, and that He is the living water. And we brought that back to the White House, because you're going to have a swamp when you don't have living water. You don't have real water flowing through.
Yeah.
Which is, we inherently speak about this, and I as chaplain do all the time. So we saw clearly that this was a coup d'etat plan, and they were doing everything they could at that time since 2016, and it started at the top. All roads lead to Obama. Everything that was going on with Spygate is real. I lived it, I breathed it, I saw it, and we have real names associated with it. The receipts are clear.
Yeah. That's a big part of what's so insidious about this, is that, they ran this hoax knowingly for the first 2 years of Trump's term, used that as the prerequisite to do additional damage both to President Trump, to his agenda, and ultimately to the will of the American people, since that's what they were really trying to block, all to protect this, deep state monster that we've since learned just how big this Leviathan actually is.
Well, and then, okay, so when I closed them down because I wouldn't lie to say I had a tie to Julian Assange, I was willing to go to prison the rest of my life. I went on media and I wrote a book called Silent No More. I wrote a book called Coup d'etat on what Obama had done with this Operation Crossfire Hurricane. And I said, I'd go to prison, but I'm not going to lie. So then the Russian collusion failed. So next they have, the Antifa destroying the cities, and we have all the Floyd Brown protests, and we have this America being torn up, chaos, and then they twice impeached Trump. So I mean, this was a coup d'état to get rid of Trump any way possible, and that all didn't work. Then we have 2 assassination attempts.
Yeah.
This deep state, this is a criminal deep state that does not abide by the Constitution. And so it's time for it to come to an end. And this is why we've created now the Veterans First organization. And we're going to do a lot to make sure our veterans have a way to transition out of the military and come back into, we'll probably build 250 complexes. We're calling them American Patriots Villages, for the veterans to come into after they leave the military to get spiritual training and physical training and healing, with
Yeah.
with alternative medicine and medicine that will really heal them, not big pharmacy. And I want Kim to say a word or two. Kim here is she's the most beautiful part of the team. I think you'll agree with that. But Kim
Absolutely.
she's going to head the institute here. So Kim, you want to say a few words?
Absolutely. And guys, I've been listening to you.
Hey, Kim.
Amazing. I love this. How could they have pulled this off the way they did? But you know what? Justice does come.
Yes.
And their
Yes.
day is here. And
Hallelujah.
we are so grateful to Dr. Corsi and to Joshua Matthias and for everyone who has done what their part was, knowing that one day this would all be resolved and that day has come.
Yes.
So this has been an incredible week here in Washington, D.C. Joshua and I just got off a stage where we were able to talk about Veterans First Foundation.net, which is what we're doing. We're fundraising at the moment for the 150 American Patriot Villages and for the Institute, and it's been an incredible 2 days already. You guys, we're doing something wonderful August 7th, right, Josh?
Yes.
For the Purple Heart, for all that's going on. It's what, $25. It's all going to a great cause. We just look forward to all of you guys looking at this and being part of what we're doing, joining this movement, because that's what started here in Washington, D.C. this week. We have a movement going where we are taking care of our veterans, seeing that our veterans and what's going on with them, and we came 55 at least a day that are committing suicide, basically, and the family members and what's taking place, and to know that we have things in place now that is going to be helping and doing some incredible things. So guys, it's been a great week. We have a lot to thank Dr. Corsi for and God because there is justice. So everyone, hold on.
Well, I want Josh to explain this.
Dr. Corsi, before you go, maybe back to Kim, or you could tell us, is there a website you guys could share for this organization?
I'll let Josh do it, and I want Josh to tell you what we're going to do on August 7th, because people can participate. So here's Josh.
Hey, guys. So you can go to vetsfirstpro.org. That gets you directly to the veteransfirstfoundation.net website. So that's a short URL.
Can you give me that website one more time? I'm actually going to have X American News tweeted out. They've got a few 100,000 followers.
That'd be great. You can find us on X at vetsfirstpro, and you can go to that website, vetsfirstpro.org, or to veteransfirstfoundation.net. So both get to us, and you can follow us on X, and you also see our live feed that we just did with the Veteran Service Panel. Please come out on Purple Heart. It's Purple Heart Day, August 7th. We're doing a fundraiser for Purple Heart Foundation, working with our celebrities. We're pulling together a great dynamic e-gaming experience where with your phone, you download an app and then you play blackjack with one of our celebrities like Shaq or like Kevin Hart. Okay, so we're bringing in others. I've already texted Terrence Williams. I said, hey, brother, I want you on board. Okay, we're going to bring Topher, the Marine rapper. A lot of patriots, a lot of leaders in the community. Mike Lindell's already encouraged to always is there for us to help vets. Kevin Sorbo. You can see engaging with our celebrities and our friends that they come out as a patriot celebrity dealer. They play blackjack with like 400,000 people. So we're excited to be part of that. Join with our affiliate partnership as well with these events. And we plan on holding these once a month, if not every 2 weeks, with other groups as well. And this will be an exciting time. It's a lot of fun. And we also have a lot of cool technology and some gimmies. You might get Papa John's pizza from Shaq, or you'll get survival technique training and get a tool that'll come to you directly. So we're also doing gimmies and giveaways alongside it. So that goes out randomly to those who are participating with us. And we're going to have a lot of fun. But we're also, most importantly, servicing our veterans first, help them with outreach, helping to reach out to them in the streets and getting them into housing and helping them to get to the next level of living. So you can find us all there at vetsfirstpro.org, veteransfoundation.net, veteransfirstfoundation.net.
And what was the Twitter account again, real quick? I'm going to tag you guys in this. I've got the post going up right now.
You get us at Vets First Pro. Vets First Pro is has about 50,000 there. Help us grow.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, I
Please
just posted that out, guys. I've got a link to their Purple Heart fundraiser and event. Make sure you go there, help these guys out. Again, we want to put our money into causes that are actually accomplishing the things we want to see. It's not getting wasted, squandered, or having 70% of it just disappear into the smoke, like this fundraiser for the California wildfire victims. So again,
right now, I'm a 5th generation Californian, and in the last Anaheim Santa Barbara fire, we got tiny houses out directly to our veterans. We did the same during the On Your
that's
Six
awesome.
in North Carolina as well. We moved 2.5 million pounds of goods into North Carolina. So, my friend, we understand how important it is to get it into the hands that matter, and we serve our veterans every day. I spend at least 4 hours a day working on veteran cases, and as a chaplain, they bring me in with a release of information, and I become their civil liberties liaison within the VA, and we help to get them into their next level of living. We do things in 4 months that other organizations are taking 2 years to get done. Okay. And this is all thanks to President Trump and the actions that we've done within Veterans for Trump, that we can bring these real-time solutions of putting vets first today, not waiting for tomorrow or kicking the can down the line and having another 50 die a day. No more.
Yes. Well, that's good. I'm glad you guys are doing that work. And again, the money will actually go to the cause. And, you're not going to have $70 million vanish like they did from this Fire Aid concert.
Yeah.
So disgusting, right? And we are fully up and up, 501c3 in all 50 states. So this comes alongside with us as a partner, and we want you guys to be 50-50 with us as we expand across the country, coming to a town near you. We have 25 locations here in the next 6 months, which we'll be launching. Join our mailer, join our news crew, a community letter as well, and we'll get that information into your hands. And please be a part of the army that we're growing, that are vets first.
Awesome. Well, great work. Keep it up. And we'll get this shared out, and I'll push it back out again over the next several days leading up to your event. Maybe we can do a little bit to help you out there.
Please do. That'd be great. We'd love to work with you guys, as always. Thank you for having me on.
Definitely.
Talking about vets first is important. Josh, we'll sign off.
Thanks, Josh.
Okay, well, great. Good to be with you, and we're heading off to dinner here tonight. And so God bless you, and we'll come back on the show anytime you ask.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Dr. Corsi. Thank you again for sharing your wisdom with us. Enjoy your dinner, and we're lucky to have you. We'll definitely be reaching back out to do a deep dive into all this, especially as more information comes out.
I look forward.
Dr. Corsi, good seeing you again. I enjoyed you the last time. I enjoyed you today.
My pleasure. God bless you guys, and for all the good work you're doing. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you again. Have a wonderful dinner, and we'll see you soon.
Look forward to it. Thank you. God bless. Bye-bye.
You too. All right. Well,
hey, Mike.
Wow.
The Mike and Mike show.
Yeah. Now we're back. I guess we ought to. We'll go ahead and go into a couple other stories now regarding. Let's see. Here we go. Some of this voter fraud that was just uncovered there in Illinois. So the U.S. Justice Department's supporting a lawsuit accusing the state of Illinois of violating the national voter fraud. So what can you tell me about this?
So living in Illinois my entire life, I can tell you one thing: I am not shocked. It's pretty standard. Pretty standard. It's not really shocking. I think it's great that they're going to actually dig into it. I hope they figure it out, and I hope they come to justice on it. I hope we find out who's doing this stuff, because it is rampant here, Chicago especially, but the whole state. It's unreal. It's rampant. It's been rampant my whole life. I'm 51 years old, and for 51 years I've heard about voting mishaps in Illinois.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of what the state's got the reputation. We're sorry, I was just texting Terry back. He may jump on with us here in a second. But yeah, unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to read into this too much. I did get the links you guys sent over earlier. I've just had a lot going on today, so I haven't been able to follow up on this. But so what exactly did they uncover? Or sorry, did I lose you there? Or do we know what they uncovered?
For a second. I don't. I haven't.
Okay, we'll see. I'll pull this up then real quick. Because, yeah, I saw the story when you guys sent it earlier, but I've not had a chance to read through this particular one yet. I'm producing some of the shows up here throughout the day. So let me get this pulled up and we'll read through it live. Well, theoretically.
I haven't seen anything come out on it yet.
Well, here we go. All right. Oh, it's a video. Of course it is. I was hoping it was something I could read on air. All right, give me a second, and I'll see if I can pull a different story. More than one. It was from Election Narc. Okay, here we go. Terry's on, so I'll get him added on real quick.
There's Terry. Right. What's up, buddy?
Well, nobody can.
There
you go. All right, now everybody can see and hear you before your audio.
Terry, I see you're wearing your headphones today.
Yeah, they're going right to the FBI, right here, right to the FBI. Breaker 19, Breaker 19, FBI.
Hey, can anybody get those at Home Depot or Menards? Where can you pick those up?
Yeah, but you got to have a special coupon for the transmitter ones. They have a special little microchip that allows you to go directly to Washington.
Gotcha. I'm going to get a set one day.
Unfortunately, when this was designed by the FBI, the product development managers were so stupid they didn't realize that this stands out. Really, it's kind of bright and people know you're recording them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's kind of messed up.
It's not very covert.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
On to
so thank you. I jumped on. I'm watching in Florida. Thanks for jumping in. And I know I threw that story at you without giving you guys time to research. And Jerome Corsi was jumping on in behalf of Stevie Stern. For those of you watching, Stevie Stern, we're supposed to talk about really specific election fraud. He had a conflict. Jerome jumped on to kind of help us out, and then he had this thing going on in DC with these other folks. So we kind of got a little bit off a topic. But I think it's good. I don't know the details, and I tried to Google search it while I was watching you guys. That's the only story I saw. The mainstream media isn't putting that stuff out there, right? It's not.
Yeah.
It was the only one that I found. And
especially in Illinois, Terry, they're going to bury that stuff. It's going to be on the back page. We're going to have to show everybody.
Well, you keep hearing Trump still saying, why are they letting all these? I just don't understand why they wanted to open borders. Well, this is one of the reasons. It's the legal voting, right? It's the corrupt voting. Pritzker, for those of you who didn't know, Pritzker shortened the illegals can change their identity down to, it was 3 months. I just heard now he's making it 3 days, you guys. He's going to let them change their identity in 3 days. Another thing is that I had a whistleblower in a year ago. Oh my God, when they announced that the illegals can get driver's licenses in Illinois that look exactly like mine and Mickey. Right before there was a differentiator. Right, you guys forgot how it was, but you could tell.
The ones the illegals got said TV ID or something like that, or TVDL.
Yeah, so they changed it, and so this guy who reached out to me told me there was 1.4 million of them in Illinois that he flipped the switch in the technology to allow them to convert them immediately. Then Janulius, this came out in June, a month before. It wasn't highly publicized. I don't even if you knew about it, being from Illinois, Mick, is that he had 4 of these vans. And 3 of the 4 were green vans, right? Electrical vans that were going into the Hispanic neighborhoods to sign them up.
Yeah.
And 3 of the electrical ones crashed. I mean, they didn't work. So they had to buy more gas ones. But they're doing that on purpose, right? And then I have another friend I got to get on the show that I haven't seen in 30 years. And he saw me on the Facebook and stuff, saw our show. And he reached out to me and I'm like, holy shit, what have you been up to? He goes, I was working as a security guard in one of those facilities. They had a machine for IDs that were being printed in the basement of the facility. They had 2 rooms that had 2 Venezuelan gang members, probably Trendelargua, that were it's like in the prison, right? They controlled the center. They were letting prostitutes come in, to these guys, right? They had big screen TVs. I mean, this whole thing is a scam. It's all intertwined together, including the stuff that we're talking about Obama and all this.
Yeah.
Everything's tied together to collapse us, right? And now
Yeah.
I think the Democrats, I'm giving them credit because they're smart enough to know that they are losing their base, right? But they think they're going to have all these people that will be willing to cheat, change identity so they could stay in the United States and vote for them, right? To help keep their power in. And then if we speak out against it, we're racist. That's what they're doing now, right? We're
Hmm.
No, of
racist. Just like
course.
that Southern
Well, they could.
Poverty Law Center story that
Okay.
came out with me that our presumptive governor keeps referencing, Mick.
Oh God, yeah, that
Said
one.
that I'm a racist and a bigot, and saying that I was going actually and filming poor innocent children. No, I was filming illegals. I was filming illegals who slithered in across our country, paid the cartels to come into our country to destroy it. Now, one of the cops even said, "Oh, how would you look at it if it was your child?" I said, "Listen, man, I would not slither into another country with my child illegally. So if they got a
Hmm.
problem with it, too bad. You got a problem with it, too bad." But only Democrats talk about that stuff, right? But there's a reason. There's a reason why the presumptive governor is, I'm being sarcastic because I don't want to name the scumbag's name, is coming after me and people like us. They want them to have those corrupt votes. They want those illegal voters. They want us to look bad or bad, being bad people, as he's calling me, because we're going after asylum seekers. No, these are illegal. None of them are even, matter of fact, none of them even qualified to be asylum seekers, guys. None
No.
of them.
No, no. I
Maybe a
think
few
because
percent of them.
Biden put in all the special rules for it to sneak them in under that. It's all a scam. It's a
Yes.
scam. The more they have here, the more get counted on the census. The more seats they get, the more power they get. That's all. They don't care about these people. They don't care about asylum seekers. They don't care about human. They don't give a. All they
Mhm.
care about is the money and the power, and that's where they get it from.
Yeah, and because that's why I jumped. This is tied in with this illegal immigration, without a doubt. And here's another thing: none of these illegal scumbags even have to cast a vote to change America, right? So
No.
if you think about it, right, they do when they do the next census, and they count these
Yeah.
scumbags that are in all the blue states and cities are going to have extra congressional representatives, right? So they don't even have to
Hmm.
vote; they just have to be a body there. And that's where we should be fighting right now. We should be fighting the hell out of it and say, you can't count these people. If you want to count them, that's on you, but it's not going to count for our voting, for the national votes. It's not going to count. And
Well,
if
yeah.
you
To
want
Right.
to
your
fund them, what?
And to your point, you just had a New York Rep Yvette Clark. She was asking them to move more illegals into her district to bump up the account because to bump up the count there because she needs to expand her lead. She thinks she's going to lose her seat.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
one more thing to your point. So I had Anthony Rubin from Muckraker on. This is probably over a year ago now. He followed around one of these vans that left from these centers that used to be all over the country where they're housing the illegals at before they'd move them out to Chicago or wherever,
Hmm.
close down Walmarts. So he followed one of their vans and it went across state lines 7 times. They were having this van full of illegals register to vote, used one of these centers as the address so they could collect all the ballots, but they had to move through 7 different states doing this, registering to vote over and over again and having their mail-in ballots then go to these illegal whatever centers.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess on a promising note for us in Illinois, I finally got reconnected with Tom Holman because he's been so busy. And for those of you who read the Gateway Pundit story that back in December, it said I hosted secret meetings with Tom Holman and Alderman Ray Lopez. He was the only one that came out. And when I say came out, not just because he's gay, he came out and said that he was in the meeting with Tom Holman. But there was a couple other private meetings, including Chicago police officers, senior people, including retired ATF agents, special agents, friends of mine. And so, they kept bugging. These guys want to work. They want to work. They want to, they'll retire. They want to help them go after these illegals. So now that
Sure.
the funding, the big beautiful bill got passed, right? So Tom finally got back to me and gave me a point of contact. And there's a lot of Chicago cops, retired guys, gang crime guys, ready to retire early just to help them. But what I just learned this week is that those guys right now they're only hiring. It's called a 18 something, 1815 or 8 something. They're only allowed to hire special agents from the FBI, the DEA, or whatever, all these different ATF that retired 5 years and less, right? Those. So if any of you guys are hearing 5 years or less, you could go back and work for Homan's team, right? Just go to USA Jobs or USA.jobs. That's the process. You got to go through that process first, right? 5 years or less, and then for the police officers that are biting at, they're ready to go work. They have to go work under a contractor. So I don't know who has that yet. I think what they're first filling is, they want to beef up his team so that he has a team of people that could go and work with the contractors, because I think there's be a lot of liability risk when you have a bunch of contractors doing this, right? They're going to
Oh,
go
yeah.
after our guys. Can you imagine if you have a bunch of contractors going out in teams by themselves? Oh my God. So that's what I'm assuming. I did talk to the guy he had me connect with, and they need to hire these people to help him, and they're hiring in Chicago specifically. So any ex special agents across any one of the agencies, please, if you want to help out, go to USA.jobs and start filling out the applications. Then DM me later. DM me later.
Yeah. If you've got that contact, we need to send that over to Aaron Stevenson. You remember having him on, because he's still trying to get in contact with Tom, and he knows how to track down all these missing kids. He's the guy that blew the whistle on that originally, where he found out about all the kids Biden had lost at the border. Originally, it was 85,000 when they broke the story. Now it's 350,000.
Yeah, so I mean, this is going to tie into the next elections. It's going to change the face of America, from the congressional, reps that they're going to be able to hire, the illegal voting back to Illinois. I'm not sure what that means with the voter registration. I mean, I'm assuming they're cheating, right? I mean, if you
Yeah.
think about it, we know there's cheating. Chicago is the epicenter of cheating in the unions, right? The machine, they call it the machine for those of you, and the unions are so corrupt. Another thing that they don't talk about, right? So the Republicans, it's a hard time for us to get people to help out, right? To show up to meetings, unlike the Democrats, right? So the foot soldiers of the Republican Party are grassroots people like us, right? There's not a lot of us, right? And
Yeah.
then we have issues with the rhinos. We're not motivated, right? We don't have as much money as the Democrats. Now, on the Democratic side, they have grassroots like us, but they also have armies of unions. Armies. I was, like in Screen Actors Guild or the other unions I was in. If they need you to come out and support, and Mickey's in a plumbers union or something, they'll send out an email. Show up here to support our brothers, right? They use that power of those emails and contacts. And then, my dad worked for the city back in the day. My dad worked for the city. They would let the city workers off early to go do campaigning. I know a lot
Oh,
of that's
yeah.
being controlled now, but that's still happening. They're just more careful in how they're doing that and leveraging these assets and resources that we're paying for with our own tax dollars.
Well, yeah, teachers unions still do it across the whole country. They'll give them the day off so they can go out and stump for candidates or drive people to the polls. And then you're going
And
to be speaking
brainwash
on
our
this.
children. Yeah, they
Yeah.
brainwash our children the rest of the year.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I want to bring this up before we forget too. You're going to be speaking on this election integrity call coming up too, right?
Yeah, I just found that out with, kind of honored. General Flynn, Mike Lindell. I don't have the whole list there, but yeah, I just found out on the 30th. I got one of my glasses on here. Yeah, I don't know if you could read that better now. Yeah, it's on the 30th, and we'll push it out.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I we used to work for both General Flynn and Mike Lindell. Yeah, I know a lot of these people already that are there. You're among a good company, that's for sure.
Yeah,
That's a huge list.
When
Huge list.
the Southern Poverty Law Center did their second hip, the first one I hated, right? And then I was like pissed, mad, upset, like what the fuck, right? And then the Republicans, even our big politicians, Moms for America, Moms for Liberty, they're all labeled as hate people, right? They're like, oh, that's a badge of honor. I'm like, I don't know if I think of that as a badge of honor, And then the second story they wrote about with the illegals and Tom Homan and General Flynn, I was in good company that time, so it wasn't quite as bad as the first one.
Yeah.
And then they're trying to paint us with this picture. The Southern Poverty Law Center is funded by Soros. They want these people in here. They're lying about all of us, right? They had a good charter back with the KKK and all that shit. They lost their way. They're scumbags. They're supported by the enemies of America. George Soros. They want these people to come in. They want to control the elections. They want to take us out.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a
100%.
little hyper there.
No,
Well, you're in,
there's a lot of people being brought in to disrupt elections in Illinois. I mean, I think we got a local guy around here doing some of it too.
Yes, yes, yeah. We'll talk. We'll be talking about that August 5th, I think, Mick. We'll have a show
August
on.
5th, August 5th,
Oh,
yeah.
I was watching the show in Florida here. Did you have a challenge or something about somebody? I didn't see the whole show.
I did. I have not heard anything back. I did ask him to reach out to Mike because I don't think he'd reach out to me personally. But I did ask him to reach out to Mike. Mike, have you heard anything?
nope, I haven't heard anything yet. I've got my DMs are open on Twitter. You can I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. You can find my email and all that pretty easily. But yeah, I haven't heard a word yet.
I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I thought you were trying to control his voice, and typically, people are getting called. They'll be threatened and sued, like Gateway Pundit, Tom Renz, Cat Conservative, and so I'm glad you made that offer because then you might not get
Yeah.
sued, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not those people, though. We're not afraid. I'll bring them on. I'll bring them on.
Yeah.
I would
Yes.
love it.
Yeah.
I would welcome it. Oh,
If
God,
you
that
guys,
would be that'd
if
be
you-
great.
if you guys set that up, I'll gladly sit back and get some cheesy popcorn and watch it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. I think you could hang out. I think Mendrick's going to be watching it with some snacks too. I know all of Lake County would be watching it. Everybody wants to see this guy
Yeah.
get smacked around for the lies he tells.
I got to tell you, it's nice to be in Florida where you know it's like the cloud is lifted. You go back to Illinois, even when it's sunny, it's cloudy. Really, that's how I feel. It's so just.
When do you get back, Jerry? When do you get back?
Saturday night. Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Yeah, yeah. So anything else, Mike or guys? Any other topics you had?
Well, I just checked again, and no message back from anybody. So I just checked my DMs. Nobody's reached out about that yet. I did, you know, I do have a Nigerian prince that wants to give me some money, but nobody else.
Yeah.
I guess the last thing, the only other thing I got on the calendar that we didn't get to is I was going to share some of these great memes that are going up with Obama now that he's getting charged. When you rig an election, still lose, and then the winner's about to declassify everything. And then here he is in his white Ford Bronco trying to get away. So they
I love that. I don't know if everybody can see it, but the squad car behind him, I think Trump's driving it. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice that until now. That's funny.
Yeah.
We got this. We could run away to Kenya. I hear you have family there. Shut up, Joe. And one of my personal favorites, I assume you'll want to sell facing Mecca.
That's great.
That's a nice one.
And then we got this one. He's probably on the Epstein list. And then he's probably on the Epstein list.
Oh my God, you're such a racist. You're not allowed to show those things. That's white privilege racism right there.
Yeah,
or transphobia, whatever you want to call it.
If he was a white president, you wouldn't be doing that.
Well, you know, I guess him and Emmanuel Macron have a lot in common. They've both got ugly man wives.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Well, I think that's it, huh? I mean, thank you. We had to move it up to accommodate schedule, so I know we're a little whacked this time. Little, lack of coordination on my part again, but that's new. You guys know that. What do you want for nothing?
Yeah.
Right?
All right. Exactly. Well, guys, thank you all for joining us tonight. Please like, share, and subscribe. Help us to grow so we can bring more people the news the mainstream media doesn't want you to hear. And
see you guys.
I'm getting it over here, Jerry. SWAT teams